let's talk about it. So, when it comes to building confidence as a coach, there are three main things that I really, really encourage new coaches to focus on. Okay? Three main things that I deeply encourage new coaches to focus on. And so, the reason why confidence is so important, once again, is because it is the thing that kind of makes us take action even if we don't feel, even if we have fear, for example. It is the feeling or the emotion that propels us forward to taking action even if we don't know what's on the other side. That fear of the unknown or even the fear of the success that we can have can kind of be quieted by this feeling of confidence, of feeling capable in our abilities to get something done, right? And so okay. I've never watched Mind Pump. What is Mind Pump? Is that like mindset stuff? Because I love mindset stuff. And so that is why it's so important, because sometimes we can be scared to do the thing. Like, you guys, almost every time when I go live, I'm nervous, right? I'm like, I've done it a lot now, but I still feel that little nervous jitter. But what allows me to show up and still do the thing is that I feel confident in what I have to say and my ability to serve and to provide value to those who are watching. It's really not the fact that I feel the fear, it's the confidence that I feel in what I have to share. And that is exactly what I want for you as you step into your role as a coach, because coaching is one of those, it's a personal brand, right? So it's going to be directly related, not just to us selling like a product, like, you know how you can literally just go in the store and, you know, go into Staples and you can buy yourself a Sharpie and you don't really mind who's selling this to you, or you don't mind who created this product as much. You just want it for, you know, what it does, which is write well on paper. Coaching is not like that. Coaching is a personal brand, and we as humans, we are the ones who have to show up and do the things to build your coaching business. And so that is why we're talking about coaching confidence today, and stepping fully into your role as a coach. So tell me in the chat, those of you who are here, on a scale from, let's say, 0 to 5, how confident do you currently feel as a life coach? If someone were to say, hey, what do you do for work, or what do you do? How would you feel communicating to them what you do as a coach? How do you feel in that role currently? From 0 to 5. 0 being, I don't even mention I'm a coach. I don't even talk about it. I don't even see myself, you know, as a coach yet, but I want to maybe, you know, see myself as a coach. And 5 being, I tell everyone I'm a coach. I am currently showing up consistently, branding myself as a coach, creating content, calling myself a coach, that kind of thing. So on a scale from 0 to 5, where would you say that you are? Okay. Tatiana is, I think I would feel at 3, maybe 3.5. Good. That's good. All right. Good. So we're going to get that up to a 5 today, okay? Or at least a 4. All right. How about the rest of you guys? I see we have quite a few people in here today. How are you guys feeling if you had to rate yourself from 0 to 5 as a coach? Let me know in the chat. When I was first starting my coaching business, I felt about a 2. And I think those 2 points were from my background in mental health and the fact that I had already been coaching, but actually like calling myself a coach and saying I'm a life coach. Even now, sometimes I'm like, I'm a life coach, you know, and sometimes I'm like, I wonder what people think about it. Well, I won't say now. Now I feel like I'm pretty confident. Now I'd say I'm a 5, but I had times during my experience where I was like, I'm a life coach. And so I want everyone on the call to be like, I am a life coach. This is what I do. This is how I help. My name is Brinya, and I help new and aspiring coaches and entrepreneurs to master your mindset and your marketing so that you can build a successful coaching business. So I want each of you to be able to share that. So Let's get it up to a 5. The first step that I'm going to share with you guys is, in order to feel at a level 5 coach, is you want to focus on gaining clarity. So we're going to start here because I feel like this is a pretty native way that people tend to start. Even though it's not the first thing I would say the first thing is action, but we're going to start with clarity. So when it comes to clarity, I mean clarity around your niche, right? So understanding who it is that you want to help and how it is that you want to help them. And the reason why clarity is so important to gaining confidence is because once you have those foundational principles figured out for your business, you then are able to speak about it with more confidence. So it makes a difference when you're like, I know I want to be a coach, and versus I am a fitness coach, I am a health coach, I am a business coach, right? I want to be a coach and I am this type of coach. Those carry two completely different energies. So even as simple as having clarity around the type of coach that you want to be and who you want to help can start the process of building confidence, right? So the first step is going to be clarity. And once again, that's understanding your niche, your target audience, but it's also going to be having a good pulse of what it is that you want to sell, right? And so if you are just starting off, you may kind of not have an idea of that, which is why we're going to get to step 2 soon, but you may not yet have an idea, and that could be causing you to doubt yourself, right? That could be causing you to kind of think twice about speaking about your business because you don't yet know the foundations of it. Can anyone relate to that? Has not knowing the foundations of your business or not knowing your niche or your target audience, has that ever kind of made you feel like, maybe I don't want to tell everyone, like tell my friends and family that I'm a coach yet because I'm like, I don't really have all the details figured out, right? So that's what happens. So once you have more of those details, you start to figure more of those details out, it starts to make you feel more excited, honestly, than nervous when it comes to talking about what you do as a coach. So I remember when I was first becoming a coach, and I didn't know what type of coach I wanted to be, and it was driving me crazy. I knew that I wanted to be a coach, but I wasn't talking about my business yet because I had this block of basically like, I need to know what type of coach that I am, right? And while that's not necessarily true, you still can move forward. It does help. The reality is it does help. Once I knew that I wanted to be a mindset coach, I was like, okay, I'm a mindset coach. I'm a mindset coach that helps entrepreneurs. Woo-saw. I now have something to say. So clarity around those foundational things, specifically what your niche is, who your target audience is, and then what it is that you're wanting to help people with or what it is that you're wanting to sell, those things help. And so that is number 1. Now, the second step to building confidence and overcoming imposter syndrome as a coach is, hi Sean, welcome in. So happy that you're here. So the second thing is going to be to take action, you guys. And I know that there's a huge misconception that happens when it comes to confidence and when it comes to creating confidence. Many people have the misconception that confidence comes from a lot of thinking, right? From a lot of thinking, from a lot of planning, from preparing. And actually, confidence comes from doing the thing and then seeing that you are still safe, seeing that you learned something new, seeing that you are willing to do the thing. Have you ever been afraid to do something and then you did it? How did you feel afterward, right? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever done something that you were previously afraid to do? How did you feel after that? Let me know that emotion in the comments right now. How did you feel after you did the thing that you were once afraid to do? Tatiana says, I felt like a winner. Yes. So when you do the thing, when you take the action, that actually creates confidence. I'm reading this book right now called The Confidence Code. It was recommended to me, and it talks about how overthinking actually kills confidence, okay? So when we think too much without taking action, that is actually a mistake. That is actually a confidence killer. So step number 2 really should have been step number 1, is to take action on your goals. So what does taking action look like when it comes to being a coach? The first thing I would say taking action looks like is really getting real about what you desire. So writing out what you would like to see from your coaching business. Really getting in tune with what do you want as a coach. Not thinking about the fears or why you can't have it, but really getting in tune with what is it that I'm going for, so that you have a super clear idea of that. The second thing I would say is to tell people what you are doing, okay? Tell people what you're up to. Let people know that you are a coach. And I know that that can be a little bit scary. That can feel a little bit scary. But the reason why I say take the action of just telling people, even if you don't have your niche, just let them know I am becoming a coach. I'm thinking about joining this program that's going to help me to be a coach. I'm thinking about working with this coach that's going to help me to be a coach. I'm studying to be a coach. The reason why I say tell people is because the minute that you tell people, you know they're going to ask about it, right? They're going to be like, hey Tatiana, hey Oso, hey Sean, how's that coaching thing going? So have you guys been telling your community that you are working to become a coach? Hello, so many beautiful people in the room today. Make sure you guys like today's video as well. Show me some love. I'm so happy to show up for you guys today, and I'm so happy to... Oh, my god sister just called me. Hold on, you guys. Okay, we're back. All right, so hello, Sean. Hello, Oso. Oso says, have you read the book Who Moved My Cheese? I haven't read that book. I've heard of it, though. I have heard of it, but I haven't read it yet. Should I read it? All right, so the second step is to take action. So tell me in the chat, what is one action you can take that will improve your confidence, right? What is one action that you can take to improve your confidence? Okay, what is one action you can take? Maybe it is telling someone about the fact that you are even thinking about becoming a coach. Maybe it is joining a new coaching program. Maybe it is writing down your biggest accomplishments. Maybe it is affirming that you are a coach. Maybe it is, oh, you guys, the sound is better? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna just hold the phone. How about that? I think that would be better for us. So what is something you can do to create more confidence in you as a coach? I find that with my clients, a lot of what happens to create confidence is taking action. So sometimes we're so fearful of like posting on social media, for example, right? Until we actually post on social media and then we see all of our family and friends and how proud they are of us that we're doing something new and that we're starting a business. And I find that that actually creates a lot of confidence in my clients. And so it's less about kind of the preparation, and it's almost, confidence is really like proving to yourself that you have the ability to do something. It's feeling like you have the ability. And a lot of the times we don't feel like we have the ability. Sadly, we don't feel like we have the ability sometimes until we actually do it. All right, so Oso says reading a new coaching book and trying examples on friends. I love that. What book are you reading, Oso? I'd love to know that. I just started, oh my gosh, y'all, I've been reading so much this year. I set a goal to read 25 books this year, and I've been on a roll. Also, shameless plug, well, I use this like book summary platform. It's called Shortform. I don't have it linked, but I'll like link it in the description box because you guys could get a percentage off. But when I tell you that book summary, like I just listen to book summaries all the time now and just like pick up on different concepts and ideas, and it's the best thing. So what book are you reading, Oso? I just started reading Marketing Made Simple by Donald Miller. He's also the creator of Building a Story Brand. Really good book. Really, really good book. So taking action builds confidence. All right. So that is step number 2. Step number 3 is going to be self-validation. Okay. So when it comes to becoming a coach, when it comes to putting yourself out there, a lot of the times we start to kind of think from the outside in perspective of what is someone going to say when I do this, and what is someone going to say when I do that, and what are people going to think when I call myself a coach, and will anyone buy my product, and will anyone pay me this amount, right? Those types of thoughts can easily start to come up because as humans, we are social beings, and we just naturally care about what other people think, right? We are socialized to be that way, and I think as humans, we just are naturally that way. And the issue with that, though, is that when you are first starting out as a coach, when you are just starting out as an entrepreneur of any type, a lot of the times you are going to be your biggest cheerleader. While you may create a support system, which I highly recommend to create a support system of people, if you are working until, 8 p.m. on a Friday when all of your friends when all of your friends are out and your family is busy and all of that, and it's just you, you have to be the one to keep yourself feeling motivated, feeling validated, and confident toward what you are doing. And so there's this concept of self-validation or internal validation versus external validation. So in the concept of like, what are people going to think? What are people going to think? What is that person going to think? You really want to start and get in tune with what you think. Okay. I'm going to clean this off really quickly. I think that's better. So you're going to get more in tune with what you think. Oso says, Don't Make Me Use My Life Coach is a great book. I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to check that out. You are putting me on. I'm currently reading a book on psychology. Awesome. My background's in psychology. Oh, Don't Make Me Use My Life Coach voice. Who is that by? I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. So when it comes to being a coach, being an entrepreneur, once again, self-validation is so important because it is just you a lot of the times. It starts with you. And so there are a couple of ways that you can validate yourself as a new entrepreneur, and we're going to go over a few of those today. Overall, one of the things that I really encourage is to create a ritual around this, or rituals around this, rituals and routines where you kind of work in validating yourself on a daily basis, building up your confidence, building up your self-esteem on a daily basis. And so I call these like radiance rituals, or elevation exercises where you are really getting yourself feeling energized, confident, like the boss that you are, right? So one of the things is affirming yourself. You have to affirm yourself. And that can be in the form of like vocal affirmations. Like I have started putting sticky notes on my ring light and on my mirror. I did that when I first started, where I would just journal and just kind of affirm myself through journaling. And that would get me pumped up to do whatever it was that I wanted to do after. Because the reality is sometimes we don't wake up feeling confident. Sometimes we don't wake up feeling motivated. Sometimes we don't just wake up and we have all of the energy. Or maybe you are working a 9-to-5 and you're building your coaching business after work, right? Which is what I was doing. And during that time, I would come home from work, and yes, I would feel like excited to work on my coaching business, but sometimes I was tired. Sometimes I might have even had a hard day at work and still needed to come home and do the thing. Maybe someone, because I used to work with a very sensitive population, maybe someone insulted me at work. I used to work with people who had really severe mental health disorders. So maybe I got insulted, or maybe my confidence was hit at work. I still needed to come home and be the boss, right?
And so one of the things that really helps me is to affirm, affirm, affirm. So in the comments, I want you guys to affirm something to yourself as a coach. Start it with I am, and then let me know. I'm going to start off and say, I am a confident speaker. I am a coach whose words matter. I am a coach who helps and serves entrepreneurs to become the best versions of themselves and build the best businesses that they can. These types of I am affirming statements to yourself, they really, really shift your energy from where it might be starting. Maybe it's not starting so hot. And the more that you just immerse yourself in these types of statements, the more it starts to shift your mind. It starts to shift your thoughts to where you're like, you know what? I can do this thing. I wasn't feeling like it 5 minutes ago, but now I can do this thing. Okay? All right, so let's see. Oso says it's actually written by a group of coaches called Elven Coaches in less than 115 pages, but is very informative. Let me write that down. I'll look that up. Don't make me use my life coach voice. It actually sounds kind of familiar, but when you added voice, let me look that up though. So let's get some affirmations going in the comments. I want to make sure that this is interactive. So it is sinking in ways to build confidence and overcome imposter syndrome as a coach. Okay. And if you guys are enjoying this, this is the type of work that I do with my clients in our program. So we start off doing this work and we continue doing this work even as we talk about marketing and strategy and all of that, because what I found is that when you don't feel confident, you're not gonna do the things. If you don't feel confident, you are not gonna do the things. You are gonna procrastinate and find a way out of it, and something wild is gonna come up. The excuses are gonna start rolling in. It happens every time. But when you feel confident, when you have validated yourself, when it's not about what others think of you, but you're truly in tune with the action that you want to take, the desires that you have, who you want to help, you're really in tune with that. You have the clarity, right? Then you are able to take more action every day. That confidence turns into the actions that create the results that you want. And that is why we are spending some time talking about that today. And so if you don't know already, my program is called Crickets to Clients, and it is designed to help new and aspiring coaches, creatives, entrepreneurs to master your mindset using some of the things that we're talking about today, but we go so much deeper. Instead of just kind of learning the strategies, we actually practice the strategies in the course as well as during our one-on-one sessions together, so that you are able to wake up, practice your rituals, and feel more confident, regardless of if you have a 9 to 5, regardless of what has happened in your day. You're able to transmute that confidence into taking the action that you need to take, whether that is signing up for a public speaking class and practicing your public speaking, whether that is creating your program and feeling more confident as you create your program, or whether that looks like just moving through all of the steps without feeling that overwhelming sense of doubt or that crippling sense of anxiety that can come about showing up on social media. We don't want any of that on you as you are moving forward as a coach. My desire for you in or out of the program really is for you to feel your most confident self so that you can show up and help the people that you are called to help, because that's really what it's all about. And when you take care of yourself and when you feel super confident, it trickles down into others, right? It trickles down into you being able to show up and shine your light to others. And that's exactly what I know you want to do as a coach. And so that's why it's so important to work on these things. So if you are interested in anything like that, if you're interested in joining, there is an application required for it. It should be in the description box below. Let me know. All right, so Ches says, I was just in a live with 200 people watching someone sleep. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Tatiana says, I am a coach who recognizes people's potential and encourages personal growth. I love it. I love it. Yes. So you want to really know how to self-validate yourself, how to self-motivate yourself. And that comes from a little bit of practice, you guys. Not everyone is born how to knowing how to do that, right? So we've talked about the top 3 tips, 3 strategies for how to build confidence as a coach, build and maintain confidence as a coach. So it's going to be take action. It sounds counterintuitive, but actually taking action breeds confidence, because a lot of the times we overthink, we plan, we prepare, we do all the things, and we have no action to show for that, right? When we're just stuck in our heads. And so taking action actually breeds confidence, because once we do the scary thing, we prove to ourselves that we can do the scary thing. Once we post on social media, once we tell someone that we're a life coach, once we go live for the first time, once we write out our desires and actually get real about what we desire, whether that is a certain amount of money. If you want to be a millionaire, say that you want to be a millionaire, because guess what? If you never think about it and you never plan for it, you're much less likely to become it. So if you want to make 6 figures in your business, talk about it. Tell your friends, tell your family. So we talked about action, and then we talked about clarity, really having a good idea of the foundational principles of who you are as a coach. What is your brand story? What is your brand voice? We talk about that a lot in my program, because I find that once you have kind of those foundational principles of what is your niche, how do you introduce yourself, those things like that, then you feel a lot better about talking about it, right? When I talked about how once I knew that I was a mindset coach, I can now say I'm a mindset coach. It's as simple as that. Once I have my niche figured out, once you have your target audience, you can go to that target audience because you have identified who they are. So now you can go forth and take more action, with connecting with them. So number 1 is action, number 2 is clarity, and number 3 is self-validation. Do not wait on other people to validate you as a coach, as an entrepreneur. Remember that as an entrepreneur, you are a person who is creating a service to help and provide value for other people. You are someone, an individual typically, who is creating something to serve other people. So in that, you are a leader. You are naturally a leader. As a coach, you are a leader. And as a leader, we have to know how to pour into ourselves so that we can pour into others. Now, does that mean that you want to just be isolated and just be trying to do everything by yourself? Absolutely not. I 100% encourage you to hire. I 100% encourage you to find an accountability partner. I 100% encourage you to join communities and join groups like this one. So you guys are already on your way. But joining communities of other entrepreneurs, other coaches who are doing something like you, I want you to stay connected. But like I said, if it's a Friday night and you have a deadline, you want to finish like a video or finish a marketing plan or whatever, it's you with you, okay? Your accountability partner might be out with their friend. Your mom she might be at work and she might not be able to hear you, or hear you talk about your ideas. And so it's just you. So that knowing how to validate and knowing how to motivate yourself is super important, right? So those are my 3 top tips for building your confidence and overcoming imposter syndrome. One more thing I would say when it comes to self-validation that I find has really helped me and helps my clients is to remember who you are and remember what you have already accomplished. And as an entrepreneur, once again, confidence gold, right? We need confidence. And so when you think about not just what you're doing, because maybe you're a newbie, maybe you're noob, maybe you're just starting out, just like we all start from zero, right? We all start from zero. And maybe you don't have a whole lot of evidence of what you have done as a coach to help others, but you do have evidence of the type of person that you are. Maybe you have done other things in your life that have proven to you that you can do new things, right? So for me, when I was first starting out as a coach, I didn't have yet evidence that I was going to be a great coach, but I did have evidence that I had coached people at my previous job for 4 years prior. And so more than 4 years prior, I think 6 years prior. And so when I thought about that, I was like, oh, well, I've already stood in front of a group of over 50 people and shared life skills, so I've already done that with 50 people. What is to say that I can't do it one-on-one? When I thought about, when it comes to even today, when it comes to me with like doing hard things in my business, I'll think about the fact that I was a first generation college student. I was the first person in my family who was, whoever went to college and finished that 4-year degree. That to me means a lot. And it shows me that I am resilient. And it lets me know that I can do hard things. I can navigate communities and experiences, and I can navigate things that I've never navigated before. So that is something else that I would say that is a pro tip, golden rule for if you are someone who is just starting out as coaching and you want to self-validate, but you might not have any evidence in coaching, but I can guarantee you've already done something in your life that you are proud about, that you can remind yourself of when it comes to building your business. So let me know, give me some likes, let me know some hearts if you guys have enjoyed these tips, and then we'll get on into our live question and answer session, because I do want to leave the floor open to help answer any questions, building confidence, overcoming imposter syndrome, and coaching business. Tatiana says action cures everything. Yes, it does. Yeah. A lot of people mistakenly think that it is going to be the thinking or the planning or the preparing that builds confidence. And while I will admit, once again, knowing my niche, now I can say I'm a mindset coach. It was me taking the action of investing in a program and just being like, you know what, I'm just going to trust God. I'm just going to trust myself. I'm just going to trust the universe. I don't know what the heck I'm doing yet, but I'm going to invest in this program so I can learn what the heck I want to do, right? So that was kind of me taking action. Before I had a whole lot of evidence of being a good coach, I was like, I'm just going to trust. I'm just going to trust. And it worked out for me. So all right, so we're getting some questions. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you guys so much for the hearts. I really, really appreciate it. Neil, hello, Brinia. Glad I made your live. Hi, Eva. Welcome. Hello, Neil. Hello, Eva. Hello, Ches. I'm so glad that you guys have joined me today. We are talking about confidence. As a coach, I hope you guys didn't miss the first part, but I'll leave the live up for a little bit. Before we get into the questions, get your questions ready. By the way, you guys, we're about to do like a live Q&A. So if you have any questions about how to become a successful life coach, how to become a successful coach, how to build a successful and profitable coaching business, let me know in the chat. What questions do you have? A lot of people, when they are first starting off, when we first start working together, they have questions about niching down without limiting yourself. They have questions about what we're talking about today, how to build confidence as a coach. They have questions about how to identify your target audience and then how to actually interact with your target audience. They have questions about how to create your coaching program, questions about how to develop a content strategy for social media, how to show up on social media, things like that. All right, so I see one question. Let me scroll back up. So Oso asks, how do you describe the difference between a mindset coach and a therapist? I love that. So the difference between a mindset coach and a therapist, when you think about a therapist, for example, a lot of what therapists work on is healing your past, okay? So it's really, really more so past focus, and it's more so healing focus related to like disorders or diagnosis or disorders of thinking, or even disorders of the brain. So when I think about my therapist, I'm going to see my therapist a lot of the times for childhood trauma, but I'm going to see my mindset or my business coach for forward thinking. So for who I want to be, right? So I'm going to my therapist to kind of resolve my past hurts and make sense and process my past hurts that I've gone through. And I'm going to go to my coach so that I can be a boss and do the dang thing, right? So coaches and therapists really do work hand in hand, and I suggest having both of them. I don't think it needs to be either or, but that is what I would say. And specifically for a mindset coach is going to help you to overcome limiting beliefs. It's not so much about healing your past. It might kind of touch on, the past, but it's not as much concerned with the why as much as I have this thought, it is not serving me, I want to change it. And I want to replace it with a new, more empowering belief. So it's more so forward focused. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that helps. All right, good. And Sony says, how to get clients as a recently certified coach. First of all, I want to congratulate you for getting certified recently and for taking the action, taking the leap, investing in yourself to become a coach. Good for you. Secondly, I would say when it comes to getting clients, you want to develop a strong marketing plan. You want to develop a strong marketing plan, and your marketing plan needs to include three main steps. So it needs to include how people are going to find you. So how are your dream clients going to find you? So you want to know who they are, first of all, your target audience. You want to identify your messaging or how to actually speak to them, those types of things. So number one is awareness, brand awareness of how people are going to find you. The second step is going to be, once people find you, how are you going to build relationships with them? How are you going to nurture those people? How are you going to provide value for free to them so that you are in community with people and so that you build trust with them, and also so that you position yourself as an expert? Because anytime that we ever want to buy a product or we ever want to work with people, especially when we want to work with someone, I know any coach that I've chosen to work with, I've always felt as if I've known them a little bit better, right? I've always felt as if, I remember the coach that I paid the most money to, I actually had been in some of her live streams already. And then also she was volunteering for free at this for the SBA, the Small Business Association, in this mentorship program. And I liked the work that we did so much that I was like, I just want to hire you and pay full price for this. No discount or anything. And so when it comes to getting clients, you want to first build awareness around your brand. You want to know who your target audience is. That's a whole skill within itself of your niche and target audience, but building awareness. Number two is nurturing those leads. Once you have them in your world, is how are you building relationship and communication and connection with them? And the third thing is going to be sales conversion. It's going to be actually understanding how to convert just people who are interested in showing interest into actually being clients of yours. So you want to have systems in place that allow that to happen. So for example, what I teach my clients to do is create a sales funnel. So you have your ways of kind of being discovered by people, whether that's through social media or whether that's through webinars or paid ads or whatever, whether that's through going to your local grocery store. Just what are your strategies for building awareness? We talk about that and we map that out for you, because it's going to be different for everyone, at least for me, because I do one-on-one coaching. So we find what's the best way for you. And then the second thing is, once you've done that, we help you to identify, how do you stay in contact with these people? How do you nurture these relationships? For me, as you guys can see, I nurture my relationships once people find me by going live. That's one of my favorite ways, because I love to just communicate with you guys in real time. And I love the chat feature. I love how we get to it just feels like we're just hanging out, And so in our program, we talk about what are some different ways that you can build community for free with your target audience, so that you can just get to know them and they can get to know you, and you get to kind of earn, their loyalty and their trust, and position yourself as someone who can truly help them through you just sharing your expertise for free. And then the third thing that we talk about in the program is, once you've done that, what is a system of, maybe someone, hops in your email list and they hop in your live, they and they really like what you're saying, and they're like, I have this problem, and I'm converting that into calls, is it webinars, is it, that type of thing. So I hope that helps. That is the 3-step process that I teach in my program for how to actually get clients once you're certified. You already know how to coach, you already have the coaching part. It's just really going to be about the branding and the marketing and creating those strategies that work for you. Okay. And if anyone's interested in the program, the link is in the description box. The program is actually called Crickets to Clients. So if you are in the position where you are actually ready to start accepting clients into your coaching business, you're ready to start onboarding and working with people, which is super exciting, then the program is perfect for you. And there's an application. So you'll fill out the application, and then you'll get a free call with me, and we pretty much put together kind of a plan of what it could look like to work together. And then you can make the decision of if you feel called to work together, and we get started. And it's 12 sessions, you guys, with me one-on-one. So if you think this is fun, imagine if we're doing this from week to week and you're learning all of these things and you're able to actually make moves into creating the coaching business that you desire and working with your dream clients. So great question, you guys. All right, so lots of questions. Okay, I'm behind. I'm just blabbing on. All right, so it says, I have 3 years of psychology, no degree, a year and a half of experience as a counselor at a pregnancy center for women in hard situations. That is awesome, Tatiana. That is so awesome. This is my first time here. I love your energy. I would love to hear a little about your courses. Hi, Eva. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. So that was a little bit about my course. It is a 3-month program. It's 12 sessions. And then it also comes with a full step-by-step blueprint, you guys, of just the A to Z of building your actual coaching business. So I help new and aspiring coaches to do the businessy side, because I know that you guys just want to coach. I know that you guys just want to help people and love on people and heal people. I know that that's what I love to do. But in order to find people, we have to be good at marketing. It's just a part of it. But marketing and selling, it doesn't have to feel out of integrity with who you are as a person. I'm really, really interested in ethical and heart-centered sales, just kind of connecting, right? And so that's what I teach. That's what I stand by in my program. Tatiana says, I am waiting to get money to pay for certification. Have to wait for the certification to start coaching, or can I move forward now? So that is a personal decision, Tatiana, but I will say, because you have 3 years, you said 3 years in psychology and a year and a half of experience as a counselor at a pregnancy center, I would start practicing actual coaching skills with your people who you're working with now. So that's where I would start, and then developing those coaching skills, so that you can feel confident going into coaching. So can you start coaching now? 100%. You just need the system in place, the structure, the foundational principles, the pricing, the program that you're going to sell. Those are all the marketing things that we're talking about. Having your program and things like that, that's all the marketing things. But can you start coaching? I would definitely say yes. Thank you so much, Oso. I appreciate it. Yes, smash the like button. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Eva says, how do I get certified? So, there's different ways to get certified, right? Right now, coaching is not a super overly regulated field. So even though I stand by the fact that you don't have to be certified, I do 100% recognize that either going through a certification program or working with a coach and actually being coached is super helpful, because a lot of people mistakenly think that coaching is just giving advice. And coaching is not giving advice. Giving advice is actually consulting. So what I'm doing here today is not actually coaching. What I do in my sessions is powerful questioning. So the reason why I created the course was because I didn't want to be teaching on the calls. I wanted to really be digging into and brainstorming and getting creative and using that as kind of a think space for you to create your services and your products, and feel confident and work through any mindset blocks and things like that. So I do think that even though you don't need to get certified, it is important for you to have some type of background where you have studied coaching or worked with a coach or immersed yourself in the culture, something like that, so you can make sure that you are beneficial to your clients. And how you do that is you can join a certification program. There are tons of them. I did a certification program called Coach Training Alliance, which I can add the link in the description box for where to check that out after the live. But it was called Coach Training Alliance. It was a 6-month program. During that 6 months, I actually started coaching and practicing during that 6 months because that was a part of the program. Also in my program, I also encourage practicing coaching so that you feel more confident, right? So there's tons of certification programs out there. Next question also, do you need to be certified to join my program? No, you do not need to be certified to join my program. What you do need though before you join the program is I do need to know that you are wanting to work the program. I do need to know that you are willing to work through the hard things, show up for yourself, show up for your potential clients, and that you are ready to learn how to build a business, that you're ready to learn how to actually turn your ideas into reality. If you are ready to do that, then the coach is going to help you. The program is going to help you so much because it's going to give you that step-by-step blueprint. So you don't need to be certified, but you do need to be ready. Tatiana says, I will schedule a phone call with you. Awesome. Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. All right. Any other questions that you guys have about coaching? It's been such a pleasure to chat with you guys this evening. Do you guys like the evening lives more? I usually go live during Tuesday mornings or like early afternoon. But I do like the evening lives because I know when I was working my 9 to 5, honestly, I was joining a bunch of lives at work. Don't tell my boss, but I was really immersed. So the timing didn't matter. I would do the replay, but let's see. Tatiana says evenings are better for me. Okay, that's good to know. I think I'll start throwing in more evening lives. All right, you guys, I don't see any more questions, but I hope that you guys got a lot out of this live. Once again, make sure to check out my program, Crickets to Clients, if you are interested. It's a 3-month program that gives you that step-by-step blueprint of how to become a coach and start your business. So check that out. There's an application. We got one more question. Also says, is a business coach and a mindset coach the same? No. So a mindset coach is really going to help you to overcome mindset blocks. So let's say that you are wanting to, because mindset coaches can be in any realm. So let's say that really any goal, but let's say that you want to lose a certain amount of weight, right? And you want to do it, but you have all of these thoughts about body and about your past and about just stopping you from getting in the gym, right? A mindset coach is going to come through and is going to teach you strategies and skills, specific strategies and skills to overcome those mindset blocks. And if you're working one-on-one with a mindset coach, like I do with my clients, then those strategies are catered to you as a person. So they're tailored to your specific mindset blocks. A business coach, on the other hand, is going to be someone who is really helping you with some sort of business, like really to build your business, essentially. And so for me, I'm a mindset and business coach because I help entrepreneurs to master your mindset, but also master the marketing that it takes to attract clients into your business. Because what I found through growing my own business and through starting to help other entrepreneurs to grow their businesses is that you have to be constantly connecting to people and providing value to people. Service is really the backbone of anyone's business, honestly, is you're creating things that help others. And so because of that, marketing is really, really important in business. So business coaches help with building businesses, while mindset coaches are going to help you to overcome specific mindset blocks that are holding you back from whatever goal that you are wanting to achieve. Great questions, you guys. Also says like a confidence reassurance. Yes, it's someone who is helping you to reassure your confidence, but specifically you're learning ways to like master your mind, if that makes sense. So for me, it's confidence, yes, it's reassurance, yes, but it's going in detail with how to reprogram your mind. Because if you've been thinking one way, it's gonna take a little bit of unlearning of the way that you've been thinking and reprogramming. So I'll share with you guys, like I shared a short about this today. One way that I help to reprogram the mind of my clients is, instead of thinking of selling as this idea of like a sleazy salesperson, a lot of people, when they think of selling or being a salesperson, they think of that dirty car salesman with the waterlogged car and they're still selling it. I think of the dad on Matilda, where he was just selling the things and taping things together and, all of this. And in my program, we talk about selling a service. Selling is not at all about just taking. It is a mutual thing. Even if you are selling and getting paid for it, you are still providing value to a person. The person who sold me this marker, yes, I paid them, but I also got value from being able to write with this marker for the next month or however much, right? So we talk about selling as service. We're creating products and services that help other people, and we sell those so that we can improve their lives. So with my program, with your program that you create in coaching, it needs to provide value. It needs to improve people's lives. It needs to create a transformation that makes it worth the money that people are going to pay you for it. Honestly, it needs to over deliver. And so that is, okay, good. Thank you for the clarity. Good. All right, you guys, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here, so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you guys later. Bye.